Hey everybody, this is Corbin C. Capshaw slash at Mr. Smiles a Lot with a Let's Talk Media LLC martial arts training video, and I'm here with my buddy again at Brandon Kacar. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Not too bad. So today what we're going to be doing at his lovely establishment of Pan the Olive, where we've done podcasts and things like that, is we're going to be talking about martial arts, and I'm going to show different drills and different ways of how martial arts can work and how they can benefit you in self-defense and learning how to defend yourself, how to get out of situations. And also the thing is that personally, whenever I see martial arts videos on Instagram or YouTube and the people say, oh, go in the cage and, oh, go to UFC, it's the thing is that, like, yes, martial arts, not everything in it works, but you train and learn what works and what doesn't work, and then you try to mix that in with other styles for the flaws of it, right? Or finding the flaws, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the thing is that UFC fighters, they're very tough, and I haven't fought in a very long time, but they are limited, in my opinion, no offense to the UFC or anything, but they are very limited to what they can do, as opposed to our martial arts. We eye gouge, we hit throats, we, do very aggressive, nerve damage hits, twists, things like that, right? And you can't always do that in sports, right? So in reality, in my opinion, if you mix martial arts with boxing, MMA, Muay Thai, wrestling, and all that and everything like that, then it is very effective, And a lot of times I do see a lot of UFC fighters, they keep it in tight, but then when they get in the cage, they start to swing wild. And, I guess that's like a certain style of fighting. I'm not really sure. But what I like to teach, my clients, students, my friends here, is tightness and good technique, but also learning how to mix everything together. Because I've had a long line of martial arts training ever since I was 5 years old, and I'm still training today. And yes, I actually did used to fight back in my day, from Taekwondo to some, sparring matches and boxing, and, sparring with a lot of friends here and there. And then, just things of that nature, lots of training, going to different schools and dojos, koons, and training for a long time and things like that. So that's why I'm trying to show everybody the mixture of what I know when it comes to martial arts and things like that. So what I mean by how a good way to break the stigma of martial arts wouldn't work in a street fight, or martial arts wouldn't work in a cage, right, is that, so I'm going to show you two different ways of how you can mix the two together, right? So remember in our video for our first one that we did when we were going fast in the slow-mo, remember how you threw that punch at me like this, and I slipped, but then I went like that at the same time?
Yeah.
Well, that's a very good example right there of what I mean. So yes, you can slip like in boxing if you want to, but then if you really want to take the advantage, do that again. You can do this either from like Wing Chun, or if you want to go more the Jeet Kune Do route, you can come in immediately here, grab, then do a hook, and then come in with the backhand, do whatever you want to do. So I'm going to do that again in slow motion. So throw the punch, so double slap down here, rep down, you can even come here if you want, right? Yes. It is all about timing, because in fights it is aggressive. Like, these are just drills, right? But even if you are against an aggressive fighter, you just have to learn how to time that right and mix it together. But here, so let's say that he was being aggressive, right? And just slow punches at me, right? And I'm just going like this, and just straight punches and hooks and stuff, So let's say I'm going like this in boxing, and he's actually kind of beating me up at it. Well then, see, here's why I do like boxing, but sometimes it can be limited. Yes, I did have a good defense, and yes, I was defending a lot of what he was doing. But if I'm in a corner, if I can't slip dodge a roller, block like this anymore, that's where I'm going to mix in my martial arts blocks or my trapping blocks. So example, we'll keep punching at me like that. So let's say doing this, right? And I'm boom, boom, right? Things like that. I'm like, oh man, I can't. And then right here, whenever he at least expects it. See, so that's what I'm talking about there. So that's where those come into play, right? So let's do that a little bit slower. So slowly just, throw random punches at me, and I'm like, I can't, nah, boom, and then say like, bam. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by the fact of that's how you can mix martial arts or Jeet Kune Do or a mixture of those styles together while also using basic boxing or kickboxing or the things of that nature, right? And yes, you can kick from these positions too as well. It doesn't have to. And by the way, a lot of times you do see people doing those crazy spin kicks and martial arts and everything like that. Martial arts, sorry, they do look nice, but in reality, in my opinion, you're not really going to use that in a fight or aggressive street fight. Now, I know what I'm doing here looks fancy and all that, but in reality, it's not. If you think about it, it's just learning how to collapse in with what he's using, what he's doing to me with good timing and using his energy and his weight against him, right? Especially if he's, again, like being super aggressive. And I'm just like, no. See what I'm saying? They're aggressive. And I'm just like, no. See what I'm saying? Like, and it's all about that timing, right? So boom, boom, or bang, bang. And the thing is that, another good little tip is that it is very hard to try to block from the inside, and especially against an aggressive fighter, unless they are swinging wild and they throw a big hook. You can, come in like this, or and then trap, maybe hit them there. There's some martial arts there, come down with an elbow like that. See what I'm saying? So, or wrap the head, do a rear naked, not rear naked choke, a guillotine with the left arm, things like that. So what I'm trying to show is, you get what I'm saying, right?
Of course.
Yeah, so like here, let's keep going again. So you throw punches at me, bang, 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 boom. See, again, I mixed boxing, a roll, but then I trapped his arm. There's the martial arts part of it. And notice, I didn't do a straight hit. I actually did a straight right to his jaw, just like in boxing, right? But the thing is that, yes, you do want to turn your hips into the punch, but you can turn that, straight right into a quick pop hit, which is kind of where the martial arts comes from. Because in reality, let's say that, okay, I rolled this way, right? See, watch, I'm going to go pop like this, because what I want to do is that I want to be able to do other things from here. I want to pop, and then maybe, come through, grab his face, yank down to a knee, and then maybe choke him, or come up here, whatever, whatever I want to do. No, I'm just kidding. So, that's the point of what I'm saying is that, so yes, what I was trying to get is that stay on the outside. When it comes to blocking, when it comes to defense, unless you are really good at getting in and blocking inside, it's always smart to block to and from the outside. So like this, throw another punch. This, throw another one. See what I'm saying? Like, bam, see? That's the point of what I'm talking about. See how the advantage, because now I can do whatever I want from here. I can hit him in the gut. I can, I can tickle him. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't hurt you, buddy. But so I'm gonna throw punches at him now. I'm gonna slowly, and I just want you to try to do what I do, right? Now notice how soft it was. It doesn't have to be aggressive. It doesn't have to be like that. Notice how just from technique and just from being soft and quick. See, I was barely. See what I mean? So whenever you do want to block, you don't have to be aggressive with it. You don't have to yank my arm. You don't have to try to break me. You know what I'm saying? Okay, ready?
Okay.
Yep. Because from here, do that again. Yep, exactly. Armbar, standing armbar. Yeah. And from there, you could have kicked me. You could have kicked me in the face with the roundhouse kick with that left leg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you could have been like this, and you could have. That would have not been fun. Okay, ready? So just try to work on defense too instead of immediately trying to, you know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to do the defense in the middle of when I'm punching, like I was doing. You know what I mean? So if I'm coming down here, 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 here. Yep. So sometimes, in reality, you don't always want to wait. But if they're coming at you aggressive, and I mean, like, let's be honest, in most street fights, it is going to get aggressive, and yes, most of the time it is going to go to the ground, or more than like what, 9 times out of 10, most street fights are going to go to the ground, Yeah. So so anyway, let's get back to it. So, all right, so I'm just going to throw punches, bang, 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 bang. Bang, bang. Good. See?
Alright.
Yep.
I probably could have done a triple.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could have. You could have picked me up and thrown me on my back. Exactly. You could have went like this and cherry picked me. Yep. But literally, yeah. So that's the other things that you got to watch out for: knees and kicks. So like, let's say I'm coming in here, like you throw a 1-2 and you block this, and then let's say you throw a roundhouse. Gotta make sure like, you get that arm down there, or you block here, or sometimes you just gotta take it. So you learn how to check. Maybe get your leg up and like have it hit the outside of your thigh here. If you don't want it to hit your bone. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So the thing is that I'm making it easy for you, but it's because you are very good at the basics. Yeah. But I'm not just gonna sit here and then give you the next thing, right? I'm gonna try to move. I'm gonna do other different things, but I'm just showing you all and him the basics of
pivoting.
Yeah, pivoting, exactly.
Pivoting is another one.
Yes. So there's ways to pivot, either in boxing or martial arts. So in boxing, right, you can either pivot left, pivot right. So if you're right-handed, you keep your left foot down and you just scoot your right foot back, and then you go like this, right? Or same thing if you're doing a roll in boxing, you come in here and you want to pivot out so you can hit the body or go to the face, things like that. There's also pivoting in martial arts, like you were saying, like let's say I do a block and then I come all the way out and then I rain down his face with like quick punches. So example, right? So let's say that he throws a punch at me, right? And I pivot out. Here, let's do it this way so I can for a better demonstration.
Yeah,
No, I mean it doesn't matter. Well, yeah, here, let's go this way now. So throw a punch this way. So let's say I block here, right? And I pivot out this way. Now I can do a boxing hook. I can do a hard hit. I can do a backhand. I can hit him with my palm, do an elbow to his ear, grab the head. I can switch my arm, do this, maybe, crank back, hit him in the throat, do this, or if I want to, just rain punches and things like that. I'm not going to snap his neck, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, or if I were taking the boxing approach, let's say you throw a punch at me there, right? Boom!
Okay.
So it's the same principle, right? So that's what I mean is that if you learn how to block while pivoting, like in boxing, mixed with martial arts, and to my opinion, there's a bigger advantage of that. So here, do that again. So that more slow motion. So I'm going to slip. See what I'm saying? So that's martial arts mixed with pivoting and boxing and slipping and getting out of the way at the same time. Shabam. See what I mean? So, yeah. So, is there anything that you would like to show tactical-wise before we move on to kicks? Because I would like to move the camera so it, maybe over there so we get lower so I can show like different kicks and stuff.
I'm sure. Do you have anything that you want to give out? I mean, there's basic arm bars and
holes and things.
Yeah.
I guess the thing I could say is that yes, boxing is important. Pure martial arts are important. Basic martial arts are important as well. So like, let's say we're facing off, right? In reality, I'm not going to start off a fight with a single pocket like a Wing Chun. That takes too much effort. I'm not going to start off with just whatever. And the thing is that isn't more countering my style that I teach, which is more Jeet Kune Do based, I would say. Not really, because you can initiate first. But in my opinion, I feel like it's safer to counter a lot of the times more, because it's better to know what they're going to do first before you try to throw something and then you end up getting hit or hurt yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, what I mean by that is that, if I'm coming in, right, I'm going to come in on the outside like a boxer or an MMA fighter, throwing jabs and things like that, maybe faking feints and then like moving in like that, right? But when I get in close is when I will do my martial arts, my Wing Chun, my Jeet Kune Do, my karate, my Muay Thai, everything mixed together. Here's what I mean by example. And a lot of times, a lot of street fighters or people who aren't trained in martial arts or any kind of martial art, they won't expect to see this coming, especially if they're being aggressive towards you and you have to defend yourself in, say, a bar fight or something, right? So, like, let's say we're facing off, right? And, like, put your hands up like you're trying to fight me, right? I'm going to throw a couple jabs, move in, things like that. Like, move around a little bit. Like, we're kind of fighting, boom, boom. And then when he least expects it, we got off camera. Okay. No, we're good. But when he least expects it, right? Like, if I'm throwing, like, little hooks, things here and there, right? Like in boxing, right? But then never nowhere. Right? Like, if I'm throwing, like, little hooks, things here and there, right, like in boxing, right? But then never nowhere, you move in, like I said, with the martial arts, with the Jeet Kune Do, Wing Chun, things like that. Okay. So now we're going to move the camera over here, and then we're going to show you some basic kicks and kicks that are effective that do work in self-defense as well. Hey everyone, so this is going to be part 2 of our video, and we're going to be showing you a little bit of like different kicks and things like that, mixed with some punching and martial arts and some MMA moves and things of that nature, and some holds and traps, right, that can be effective. So like I said, basic kicks can be effective. Just like I said, like what I was trying to show earlier looked fancy, but it is basic if you just break it down and if you really look at what I was doing as I was closing in that gap, right? So if we do some basic kicks, right, there's always, the front kick, the teep kick, the side kick, the roundhouse kick, hook kicks, things like that, right? Or, so here's the thing. The only fancy kick that I would ever do in a street fight or sparring scenarios, because it actually is effective in my opinion, is the spinning back kick. But yes, you do have to time it perfectly right. So one of my favorite things to do is to time it after I side block and swipe a punch really hard out of the way and actually go like this, leaving their side open. Let me show you an example. So let's say I'm standing like this, right? Okay. And you throw like a punch right here, and I side swipe real hard. See what I'm saying there? That's what I mean. Like, that's the time where I feel like it'd be okay, because you threw him off balance. You don't want to just do it right off the bat, because you're exposing your back, and you never want to do that in a fight. Trust me. Well, most fighters know that. Even you know that. You don't expose your back, because they could do a rear naked choke. They could just start beating on your ribs. Whatever they want to do, they're not going to be nice. So, okay. So let's say we're facing off, right? I could go here and like throw a little roundhouse kick, right? And that's a good feint. Feint or fake out, right? So I could, a good fake out is I could come here and then go to the body, or come here and come in with the hook, maybe come in with the right, and then come in with the left roundhouse. Things like that. He could do the same thing to me, right? He could be throwing punches at me, and I could be concentrating on blocking, and then he'll randomly throw a kick. See, I didn't even see that coming, right? I've been doing martial arts my whole life. It's because of the fact I was concentrating so much up here. And, it's just basics. So, and that was a very good roundhouse kick, because you dug into me. That was a really good one. So, we're going to move around a little bit, do some light, no contact spar, and see I'm going to see how his defense is, and he's going to see how mine is, and just see how we mix it up, okay? Yeah. So. Oh, you would have caught that. You could have caught that
See, one thing
and then
to say
ran
about-
forward and threw me back.
See, one thing to say about that is you don't want them to know that you see it coming. You want them to think. You want them to think that they're tricking you, you know. But in reality, you're the one tricking them. So, for example, like the one you just saw, where I could have, you know, where I almost grabbed him by the leg.
Yep.
He didn't see that coming, but I saw that coming though.
Right.
So you want them to feel you want them to feel like we're being tricked, when in reality they're the ones being tricked by us.
Right, like when I could feel him pushing forward a little bit, that's when you saw me come in, when he was throwing that punch. I came in here, trapped his arm, and then I hit him, or not him, but touched him with the backhand. See what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by when he got a little bit more aggressive, I used the technique and the softness of my martial arts and used that against him. See what I'm saying? And that's what I mean by martial arts can work in a street fight, because in reality, the way we're going right now is not most street fights are. It mainly is boxing or kickboxing, you know, especially if they do know how to fight. You know, it's going to be a lot of punches, it's going to be a lot of like basic kicks, right? But like I said, a lot of times they won't expect to know the martial arts part of it, especially if all they really do know is throwing, especially if they are a big, you know, street fighter who, you know, throws wild and just makes it easier for both of us. You know, so do you, I remember that some of the military training kicks that you were shown were similar to the ankle kicks that we do in Wing Chun. So like here, and then like stomp on the knee and maybe break it. Like, but yours was more pushed down, right? And that one you showed me, I think.
Think so.
Yeah.
It was like something like
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, that's deadly. So the thing is that, like, so the way to modify that, so that way you don't have to do as much of a twist, because if you don't do that fast enough, I'm gonna maybe see that coming and back up. So the faster way to do it is just to turn your leg up and in, or your knee up and in, and drive down. It's like what? Well, I mean, that's very fast, but here's what I mean, right? All right, I'm going to show you, don't move, I'm not going to actually hit you, and you'll see what I mean by this. Like, so this is the difference between doing the basic knee stop break versus what I'm going to do. So, you did that very fast, right? So you were here. Let's see how long it took me?
Yeah.
Now, watch how long this takes me.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
So.
So, yeah. And if you get up and get in, you can really drive down on that knee or that shin. It doesn't matter which leg you use. You can come in here, you can come in here, I can go boom and then bang bang. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how you can mix martial arts with boxing. Remember Jeet Kune Do, that's what Bruce Lee did all the time. He'd bounce in like this, and he'd throw those little leg, I'm sorry, I don't mean to actually hit you, but he would throw those leg kicks, boom, and he'd go boom, and he'd go boom, boom, and like throw a roundhouse kick to the face, right? Or then he'd throw those jabs and do that bang, 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 things like that, you know. That was all, you know, Bruce Lee style, right? And he showed that that's how you can mix martial arts with, you know, basic boxing, basic kickboxing, you know. He would even do some grappling every now and then, you know. So that's what I'm talking about, as in I'm trying to break that stipulation, I guess that's the right word, or the stigma that people say that martial arts wouldn't work in a street fight, you know. Like, I know I was just messing around trying to show off with these fancy kicks and drills and whatnot, but if we were really going fast, if I did these things against somebody who didn't know how to really fight and they were just coming at me like a wild man, then I honestly do personally feel like I'd have the upper hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, I'm not going to stand there and make it like a movie, though, and then constantly do this, and then go for the other kick. I'm going to do it all in one while coming at you, right? You know, I'm going to be bang, 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 bang. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever I want to do from there, you know? Or, you know, if we're just, like, starting off, you know, just boom, bam. So you don't even have to throw a full kick. You can throw that as a feint. Notice how when I threw that kick, he was so focused up here. I threw that kick, he didn't see that coming, but I didn't touch him with it because I was going in for that hard right to knock him out. So you can use kicks as a fake out as well, which is pretty obvious. So watch this. So right from here, one of my favorite fake outs is I'm going to throw a low left roundhouse to his leg, but then I'm going to come up with a really hard jab. And most people will concentrate on the kick first. I'm going to do it slow, then I'm going to do it fast, right? So notice how you kind of look down already with it. I even did it slow. So here's a fast, right? I'm going to do it when you least expect it. It gets almost everyone. I used to use it in sparring all the time. It was so much fun. We'd be like this. See how he backed up? See?
But I still saw that coming. Though.
I know.
I knew it was coming.
See? And then that's when you come in with that right or a pocket, elbow, like I said, whatever. Or like I said, you can use the jab and then actually throw the kick. That's another feint or fake out. So we're here, right? See what I mean? So yeah. That's basically all I got to say. I mean, there's, what did I say? Roundhouse kicks. You can do, side kicks, things like that. Well, there's hook kicks, to the face, midsection. There's spinning, heel kicks. But you're not really, like I said, you're really not going to do that. There's crescent kicks, things of that nature. I mean, if I'm going to do a heel kick, I'm going to aim for your knee or aim for your leg. I'm going to try to trap you in so that I can maybe do something kind of deadly. Like example, if we're in like this, I'm going to get on the side here. Here, actually, let's get on the camera. So I'm going to try to get in here, right? Here, and then hit you with the elbow and take it down like that with my forearm. Yep. And I'm just going to drop and lay on top of you. And as I drop on top of you, my body weight's going to go on you. And it impacts, going to make my elbow go on your neck. Yeah. I won't even have to yeah. There's a lot of different things you can do when you know martial arts. I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but I have been doing this since I was 5 years old. I know a thing or two. Yeah. Hey. Let's get a little bit more like sparring in, and then we'll end the video. Just want to see where you're at. Ooh, nice.
Okay. I could have probably done a bit better one on that one. A little practice. It could be a little faster than that.
Oh. All right.
Still need a little practice. Actually, I could have probably done the up and lower on that one.
Yep.
I should have. Okay.
Okay, so from here, careful, because what I can do, elbow, push it away from me, and then kick you in the leg, knock you down.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why, like you said, pivoting's important. Right? Because we were both trapped, but for reality, I'm going to move to the side. I'm going to pass his shoulder here. I can either hit him here, or if I really want to. Here, let's go. Get back down in the position of here. If I really want to, I can drive my knee into his face, which is very mean, or just throw a big old roundhouse, push, kick, sweep the leg. Kick it really hard to where you hit the calf, but make his leg come out so then that way he gets that nerve damage there, so he can't walk, so you can't fight him he can't fight you anymore. Not that you can't fight him anymore. I'm talking about getting excited over here. So you got any other advice? I mean, should we go slower? Should we break some stuff down, or more things down? That you think we might have gone too fast on?
I do need to get my mindset back in the game because I'm actually getting a new gig in public safety in the hospital, and I hear that they can be a little more What's the word? Let's say. What's a better way to explain it? A little more hands-on, I
Right.
guess you could say.
Oh yeah. And yeah, like I told you who we worked for. If we need to be hands-on, we will be.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing that I know all this stuff that I do,
Yeah.
because you and I both know most officers, security especially, aren't trained, and they get hurt
Yeah.
a lot. I've seen bad videos. They're scary, you know. All right, so you think that's it? You good?
I mean, you have anything else?
Just I guess one last little thing maybe. So like I was just okay, let's just recap a little bit. So what I was trying to show and say is like, okay, yes, this looks fancy, you know, whatever, because of, you know, martial arts or Jeet Kune Do or Wing Chun training, whatever, you know, but it's really simple in reality. Anyone can do this, okay? It's like, let me show you again. So he's throwing punches, right? You know, you got that basic boxing block, you know, whatever, you keep throwing punches, you can slip, you can duck back, but then, you know, they don't expect it, right? If you run out of options, especially if they start going down here, you know, then you can, that's when you can move into your martial arts, right? And then come up here, or, you know, do things like that, right? And that's why I feel like it's a good idea to know how to do both. That's what I'm trying to get at. You know what I'm saying? Because like I don't want to just be stuck on knowing basic boxing. Because like sometimes yes, boxing is effective, especially if I come in and do it right. But it can also be very easy to block if you know how to block right in martial arts. Like let's say you were just coming at me with basic boxing, like 1s and 2s, right?
Yeah.
Like you going right. I mean, I've already got that advantage. But you know, it is true though. A good boxer will pop a good martial artist when they least expect it, but then also a good martial artist will hit a good boxer like 10 times like out of nowhere, and they won't see it coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, so example, right? So let's say that he came in real hard and aggressive and boom, 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 and like lit me up. But then let's say I defended myself, right? Pull off with just this one, I can bang, 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 boom, boom. Whatever I want, you know, kind of like Krav Maga style. Also being aggressive like that, yes, that wasn't just boxing. That was a lot of martial arts and Jeet Kune Do, and you know, like kind of the, you know, things that I teach. But what I'm getting at is, see, it can work if you just do it right. So anyway, I think that's enough of this video here. I have a lot of editing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
And I have a lot of practice to do too.
Yeah, we'll get back at it, don't worry. Alright, so anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I love you all so much. Yeah, so does this guy over here.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you need a martial arts coach, and if you need a market advertiser, photographer, you know, videographer, you know, film what you doing what you love to do like I do all the time, please let me know. I love you all. I'll see you guys next time.